video on hair accessories, and I made this cute little bow, and I started talking about sewing a bag to put this bow on. So I thought, hey, why don't I just make that into a tutorial? So I'm going to use the same fabric that I used for the bow. This is non-stretchy cotton fabric. It's black with white stripes, as you can see. So I thought I'd make a super easy handbag and put some cute little bows on it. Okay, so I've got my fabric folded in half. I'm going to lay it out on the table, and I'm going to cut out 5 square pieces. 2 bigger ones for the big sides, 2 smaller ones for the small sides, and 1 for the bottom, and they're all going to be square. You can do measurements if you want to, be exact here, but I'm just sort of going, by heart, so yeah. Side pieces. Just keep the height and measure for the other pieces. Longer side pieces. And I thought I might use, as you can see, I've cut into double fabric, so I have 4 of the side pieces, so I'm going to use one of those. Actually, I'm going to use 2 of those as a sort of reinforced bottom for this whole bag, just to make sure that this is pretty thin fabric, so I don't want stuff to poke through if I've got sharp things in there. We're obviously going to cut out handles later, but I'm going to start with these pieces. So I am going to pin my sides together and sew them together. Outside to outside. So I'm going to start by sewing this one right here. The same thing to the other long and short side pieces. Up next, we're going to sew these together. Okay, so I'm laying them on top of each other like this now. You can see that one is a little bit bigger. That doesn't matter, we're going to fix that later. So we're now going to sew both of these edges shut. It's going to be kind of a loop. Okay, so now we have a loop. Like so. Obviously, if you want, you can do go double on the entire bag, not just on the bottom. But I think this might be like a beach bag for me, something like that, so it doesn't have to be super perfect. Yeah. I like to do things fast, so you might have realized when you see my videos, so for perfection, yeah, just do things slower than I do them, I guess. It's now time for the bottom piece, but the one I cut is a little bit too small, so I'm going to cut a new one. I can just make bows out of this instead. By the way, if you didn't check out my video on how I made the bow, you should totally check it out. The bag is going to have a square body like this. So I need a bottom that's going to cover this, obviously. So I'll just lay this down flat. And cut a piece that matches all the way here. And across, obviously. It has to be a little bit thicker or wider than these short side pieces. Okay, that's more like it. So I'm going to sew these together by putting the outsides towards each other. This is kind of similar to how I did the bow. We're sort of creating a loop, well, kind of. So sew all the edges but one together, so we're going to be able to flip it inside out. Oops. Alright, so this is the bottom piece. Now we're going to attach this to the main piece. So put your bottom piece on top of the fabric. The bottom piece is a little bit longer than the loop piece, but that's good. If it was the other way around, I have to redo the bottom piece. So pin it like this, and then sew along this line right here. Okay, we're gonna go over to the first short side and do the same thing there. So pin it like this, and then sew. Fold that over, it's taking shape. Then we need to do the next long side. This is where it's getting a bit tricky now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do the other short end first. Pin and sew it. Okay, we've only got the one long side left now. And for this, we need to flip it inside out. Just like that. And sew it. Here we go. Steady bottom. Well, it's starting to look like a bag now. So what we need to do now is fold down the sides and put some handles on it. So I'm going to start by making the handles. Now I like a bag that can go over my shoulder. I don't want to walk around with it on my hand, so I want to make sort of straps that are long enough to go over my shoulder. And I'm going to do these double as I did with the bottom, just to make sure that they can really hold. When you're using a striped fabric like this, you can also follow the stripes, so it makes it a lot easier to cut evenly and straight. Now a handle that's this long might be a little too much. What do you guys think? That would be down here. Maybe that's good actually. We'll go with that. Okay. So I'm gonna sew these into loops. Just like before, outside to outside. So every side but one of the short ones. Now this is going to be a bitch to turn inside out, but yeah, that's what we're going to have to do. Okay, I have my two handles and I'm going to flip them inside out. If you need some help doing this, when they're this thin, you can use a pencil or something like that, just not something sharp that can poke through the fabric. Okay, so my handles are flipped inside out. Now in order to make these flat, instead of, well, they're kind of round and not very nicely shaped right now, I'm just going to go in and iron them. So make them real flat and then we're going to sew them on. My handles are now nice and flat and are ready to be attached to the main bag. We are going to, I'm going to sew the handles on at the same time as I sew the tab. God, losing words today. But I'm going to start by doing the hem first and then attaching these with pins. I'm doing double folds here because otherwise we're still, when we look into the bag, we're still going to see this ugly edge, so double folds. So the top is now hemmed with pins, not hemmed, sorry, all the way around, and I'm going to pin the handles on. And before I start sewing my handles on, I'm just going to fold out this end which is still open and sew that closed. Okay, now it's time to attach these to the bag. Like this. Now I'm going to sew, obviously I'm going to pin the other one too, and then I'm going to sew twice all the way around. First at the top of the little hem and then on the bottom, just to make sure that everything is really on there. Okay, so I've sewn the first time, and I actually decided that I don't need to go over the whole thing twice, but I am going to reinforce these, so I'm just going to sew across here on the top once more. And then it's time to accessorize. Hey, look at that! We have a bag! Now obviously, if you want to make this is kind of a beach bag thing, if you want to make it a proper bag, like close it with a zipper and stuff, obviously you can do that. Basically what you do then is make the same piece for the top as you did for the bottom, and just put a zipper in the middle of it. Not that difficult really, but I don't have a zipper right now, so I'm just gonna leave it like this. But I'm gonna do one final touch, and that is a little bow. I talked about the video for this earlier, I think, but yeah, I did it. You can put it in your hair or on your clothes, or obviously on your bag. So I'm using one of these. This is a brooch pin. So I'm just gonna pull the bow through this one. You can sew it straight onto the bag if you like, but I want to be able to remove it or just move it around, or use it for other stuff too. Okay, so it's on the brooch pin, and there you have it. A finished bag, ready to be stuffed full of all kinds of crap. Well, that was it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you